Thank you very much, Jason. So today I'm going to be doing what's called an interview speech, where I'm going to be on a TV program interviewing a special guest. And today my special guest will be Paul Banks, and I'm going to be interviewing him about his experiences. So we're going to have a moment to set up the stage here with 2 chairs and also the video camera. So in this speech, our eye contact will be assuming there's a studio camera, and you'll be the studio audience. So I'll be addressing you at the beginning and then talking mostly to Paul and then talking back to you at the end. Okay, well, welcome fellow Toastmasters. This is a special edition of Best Friend Toastmasters, and I'm here with my special guest, Paul Banks, and we're going to be doing an interview today. Now, Paul is a very special guest. Not only is he a budding comedian, but he also is very adventurous. And one summer, I believe it was one summer, he spent a summer in the Downtown Eastside of Vancouver. And I would like to ask him a few questions about this experience and what happened. So, Paul, welcome.
Thank you, Geoff.
Hello. Yes.
Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Thank you for coming. I'd like to ask you a few questions about your experiences that summer. Okay. So, can you please describe, why did you go to the Downtown Eastside?
I found since coming to Vancouver, I found myself hating the homeless more and more. Everywhere I went, I found them in my face, asking for money or committing property crimes against me to get money and things like that. So I found with the homeless, I had a lot of bad feelings towards them. So I decided to go and live sort of amongst them for a month in the hopes I would have a better understanding about their life and sort of find out the rhyme and reason why their life is so rough.
Interesting. Okay. So, what did you bring with you when you went there? Did you bring like a lot of like equipment, electronics, and like stuff, or did you just go pretty simple?
I went rather simple. I brought a laptop with an external webcam. I brought some clothes, and I brought 2 handheld video cameras.
Okay. Yeah. And at any time did you feel like threatened or not at ease?
Absolutely. Originally when I went, I was going to film a documentary, but within the first week I had been robbed for all my cameras. I was robbed at knife point, needle point, and sort of gun point. He didn't really rob me. He just said, "I've got a gun," and showed it to me, and then he said it's a rough neighborhood and for $20 he would protect me. Which he was not that explicit, but from the cracked out look in his eye, he was saying, "I'll shoot you over $20 right now." So, yeah, so there was a few times when things got a bit rough, but otherwise it was pretty, I never really felt threatened for my safety. A lot of the people down there would be so strung out on drugs, you know, if you took 3 steps away from you, you'd be safe because they couldn't get off the sidewalk. And as long as you avoided certain times of the day, when people would be coming down off of heroin or crack. There's certain times of the day when, you know, they'll be coming off their trip, and if there's not a lot of people on the street, then that's when it can be very dangerous, because as time goes on, their blood will it'll feel itchy for them, and they'll get very aggravated, and usually that's when you hear about people getting killed for small amounts of money.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So how did you start your journey? Like, did you find out which hotel to go to and you got a room there, or how did you get going in your...
Originally I just took the bus. I took the bus downtown, and I went from hotel to hotel until I found one that had a locking front door with somebody that worked there 24 hours a day. Mm-hmm. And then I picked the one with the least visible bugs, because they all had bugs, but I figured what I didn't see wouldn't freak me out, but turns out it did. It was really gross, but
So what did you learn from this experience?
Well, the main take home from my experience there was that a lot of these people that are living on the street, they're unable to make good choices, whether it be, you know, some aspect of their lifestyle, whether it be drugs or alcohol, has just sort of got them in a cycle where they're continuously making bad choices because of previous bad choices they've made. For example, if they get addicted to drugs, every day they're just going to have to keep making the same bad choice because it's a chemical addiction. So I found that my outlook on them went from more angry that they would bother me and angry that I felt that they were sort of using and stealing from me to seeing them as sick people.
Would you recommend this experience to others, or was it a pretty like out there kind of thing to do? What do you think?
I would recommend it to other people. If you go with someone who knows the area, and if you avoid certain times of the day, it's not very dangerous, and you'll see a different side of the city. A lot of times in Vancouver, we read about, you know, our per capita luxury car purchases or skyrocketing home prices. Well, if you want to see the other side of the coin, I would recommend going down and checking it out.
Wow. Did you ever have any encounters with the police or charities or social workers or people kind of help those people in the community, or were those people kind of absent from your experience?
You would see them from time to time. There was a few times when the police came up to talk to me to ask me what I was doing, and there's a few times I met people from, you know, Insight or other local charities and groups like that.
In general, do you think people should be more compassionate towards the people on the Downtown Eastside?
Well, this is a very unpopular opinion, but I actually think we need to be less compassionate to the people in the Downtown Eastside. As it stands right now, there's a large network of services for them that, in my opinion, is counterproductive to, I guess, harm elimination. Right now, a lot of services are geared towards harm reduction, which to me is an error because, as I said before, when you're addicted to drugs or when you have alcohol problems or mental issues that are keeping you on the street, then you're not in a state to ever ask for help or to get the help you need. So by supporting these people to stay on the street rather than to seek more drastic help and to get off the street, I think should be the approach. It's not very popular, but I feel you need to use force with these people to get them in a program until their mind is in a state where they can make rational decisions for themselves. And if they choose to go back to that life afterwards, that's their choice and it's a free country, but up until then, I feel they don't have the capacity for good decision making when they have such a strong addiction or a mental issue.
Right. It seems like one of the key challenges for those people is the mental illness in combination with the addiction, and then not being able to get out of that cycle. So yeah, I think
you absolutely hit it right there, that most of these people have problems compounded on top of problems. Because by the time you find yourself living in the Downtown Eastside, you didn't just have a bad day at work, you've had a bad year, you've had a bad life. It's not a thing that happens to you overnight, but a lot of these people, it's just piling up and piling up.
Great, well thank you very much, Paul, for sharing your experience with me, and it's very interesting, and it's wonderful that you took the time today to talk to me. So have a great day, and see you next time.
Excellent, well, thank you for having me.